Hello and welcome to Warhammer Wednesday. It's been quite a while since my last Warlord Titan update, and as you can see, all of the parts are still in their boxes. It's June. This might be a few months after I've shot this video that you're watching this, in which case the Warlord Titan is complete and I'll probably be putting him to the side of some of the videos and things as a bit of a sneak peek. I might not though, because I do plan on having him in a video at some point that's not just about him, and that's when I'll basically reveal him, and then I'll do a couple of videos after that one solely about him. But I just wanted to do this update because it has been a while. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to spend weeks or months on him as I sort of had planned, and that's just because Games Workshop and Forge World, actually, they've been releasing a lot of box sets and models, things like that. A little while ago they released the Deathwatch Overkill box set, and I think they've got a few more planned. Either way, obviously my priority has always been to give you unboxings and reviews, so that means me making the models as well close to the release date. I feel that that's very important, and I feel that's more important than getting this guy done, because he came out sort of like July last year. So what I'm going to do is just show you the update to the model. I'm going to start with this box because it's the least done, but in here got all the armour plates which I've sprayed black. I don't think I'll spray silver, which is a bit of a pain. I think I will just brush the back silver because I want that to be black, and I'm going to do Chaos Black and paint over it, and then I'm going to do the metal parts and then Chaos Black over sort of like the actual armour panel itself. I'm not going to go do anything fancy, so there you go. It's obviously going to be the standard gold trim. The way I do my gold trim that works for me, I'll disclose this right now. It might not work for you. For you, it might work just using Forge World's gold or even the Games Workshop's gold. But the way I do my gold, which does take a long time, is I go over it with, well, obviously spray it black or paint it black, go over it with Lead Belcher, then Balthazar Gold, then Shining Gold, then I'll wash it with Agrax, then I'll highlight with Auric Armour, and then I'll pick out the rivets with Rune Fang or Stormhost, and then I'll wash them brown. So that's sort of like all the processes involved. That's why my gold looks so damn good, and it's not just painted one colour and then washed. So I build up quite a few layers in that. That's just the way I do it. That's how it works for me. And yes, you could, there are other time-saving ways, but let's be honest, you spend a lot of money on a model like this, and you want to invest a lot of time into it too also. So these are all the panels. They're all ready to be putting the gold trim on and things. Some parts are completely finished, like this, ready for the Reaver Laser Blaster. That's completely finished. This isn't finished, so it just goes to show you. Under here are the weapons, which I will sort of, something like that, that's finished. The way I would do that, spray it black, spray it silver, wash it with Nuln Oil, then dry brush it with the Necrom, and then pick out the rivets and wash them with brown. So as you can see, each piece is, I don't know, I want to say a masterpiece, but each piece I've taken a very long time over. And this is one of the guns. It's the Bellicosa pattern Volcano Cannon. I think it's come out really well. It's no way means finished though. There's a lot of work to do on this. All I've literally done is sprayed it black, sprayed it silver, washed it, and then dry brushed it with Necrom. What I've still got to do is all the bronze parts, all the bronze paneling. Then I've got to wash that, then I've got to pick out all the rivets, and then finally I've got to do the black soot, and then the purple, blue, red, orange, yellow heat effect, and then I've got to drill in there and put my rod of a magnet in and magnetize it. So that's just for one, and there's obviously two of these in here, so fair bit to do on that. Then in a similar fashion, these Reaver laser blasters are at the same sort of stage. Like I said before, these are sort of done in a way. That would go like that. So these are getting there, and then you put the pipes there, and the pipes connecting there as well. So Again, with the Volcano cannons, I'm going to put the brass colour on the edges. Basically, it's just a copy and paste from my Reaver Titan. That's the way I want to do it, but use this new sort of heat wave sort of technique. And in there's the other Volcano cannon and the other laser blaster. So I'll just put them safely away until I finish them. They'll probably be one of the last things I finish, maybe. Or it might be the armour panels. So you can see I've got a fair bit to do on all of them. Especially the armour panels themselves. I don't know sometimes whether to give you guys like a sort of size comparison between one of these weapons. I've just happened to have a Space Marine here, and that gives you some sort of size comparison to him. The Volcano cannon itself, upright, is taller than a Warhound Titan, to give you some sort of comparison. It's not a small model like this that has different colours and things like that, so you might not need to spend as much as you would on a single miniature. That's no way near done. That needs to be bronzed on the inlet valves and things. But for an outsider, that might look like it's complete, but it's not. And I've seen people's Warlord Titans. I've seen them do some amazing marbling effects and different colour effects. But then I've seen the skeletons of them just sprayed silver, washed and then highlighted. For me, that just doesn't cut it, I'm afraid. It's an expensive model. You should spend more time on it than just spraying it silver. You know, you should really go into it, bronze it, pick out the details, pick out the rivets. I mean, I've got my canna spray silver, my canna spray black, but everything else is brushwork. So that means that every rivet you see, I will have painted. Right, so that's that box, and that's probably the least done. I've got a long way to go with that box. Let's have a look at the other box, which is what I'm more sort of proud of. A lot of painted sort of items and things in here. These have been on my desk, and I've been working on them over the past couple of months or so. So that's why they're just in a jumbled state, because I've literally just put them on in the box to bring them in this room. This is sort of like the colour scheme I'm going for. I'm going for like a black with the gold around it, and the gold sort of trim to sort of separate it. Again, I've seen plenty of Warlords that have just been sprayed silver, washed and then highlighted, and then a bit of dirt and stuff on the toes. For me, it just doesn't cut it. I need more detail. I need more sort of uniqueness, and this is one of the ways I've achieved that, by having my black and my gold on the actual toes themselves, going into the rivets, putting the wash and the silver in, going into the brass areas. That's what all of the toes are going to look like. And it does take a bit of time to do one of those, so I've left it for now. But as I said in the start of the video, if you're watching this is probably finished, and it's probably the legs and everything are done, and it's nigh on complete. This one, obviously, haven't really done much on that. These lower leg parts are almost finished. I've just got to pick out some of the rivets and wash them. Look, you can see I haven't done the rivets there, but I have there, and that'll basically go in that way, followed by the thigh joint, which is just here, like so. So that just gives you some kind of, is that all getting shot? Yeah, gives you some kind of idea what it's going to look like. But as I said before, I want each piece to be a bit of a masterpiece. This, believe it or not, has still got a lot of work to do. I've got to do the brass, I've got to do some of the rivets, and got to do the cabling. I'd like to just keep the cabling nice and simple and black on this. So there you go. That's that. This I've completed. I'm really chuffed with this, how it's worked out, the black and the grey sort of highlighting. I like the cabling. I haven't put any sort of that nickel oxide on it. I'm still thinking whether I should do that, but all the rivets and things are washed brown, and really pleased with that. That's the hip joint complete. Likewise, some other parts, like some of the piping for the shoulders is complete. These parts with the rivets, this I think is for the weapons, the actual weapon mount. It's complete. These shoulder sort of frames are complete. Took me a fair while doing these. Really chuffed the way they've come out though, with the washes and the highlights. Likewise, I think I've got some more things here that complete. Yeah, these rings that aren't glued. You don't glue them onto the hips. Let me show you these. There will be a magnet in there. I've just left that for now, but that will go on like that. And then it'll be connected with pipes and things. Using a mixture of resin and super glue. No need for you to use resin glue with that, epoxy resin with that and that. Just use super glue. I always use a mixture of super glue and epoxy resin. If you see my Reaver Titan build, I don't pin my models. There's simply no need to. I build them and they're either in the box or I have them out and they're there. I don't ship them around the world. I don't take them to Adepticons or anything like that. There is no need for me to pin my Titans. They just don't get hurled around or abused that much. Super glue and epoxy resin is fine. And then I've completed this. This is complete. I was originally thinking of doing this top bit bronze, or even this bit bronze, but I had a bit of a change of heart. If I'd have done that bit bronze, as you can see, it sort of connects to this whole part and it wouldn't really work. Likewise, I didn't want a big bronze sort of paneling. I might change my mind on that once it's on the top of the main structure, but there you go. There are a few other parts that are complete, such as like these stabilizers. I think these are the gyro stabilizers. Really nice. Spent a long time on them. And then there's other parts that haven't been complete that are near completion. I'm not going to build the legs and things until at least a few of these are complete. I'm going to have them in the black armour, so black and with a gold trim, and it's worth having them complete before you build the legs, because you can glue them in and you can glue them into the lower leg joint like so, and then that will just give you more contact with the lower leg and the foot, or even the toe. Just give you more contact, more stability to have them glued up and ready. So yeah, these have got a fair bit of work to do. And then things like the sort of bars for the back of the carapace, they are, for the main body, sorry, they are complete. Obviously just need to be, so yeah, you got to big up that health and safety in the 41st millennium, haven't you? This is nowhere near complete. It's been sprayed silver, well, parts of it's been sprayed silver, it's been washed and it's been dry brushed, but no rivets, no different colour pipes or anything like that need to be done. It's got a nice magnet in the bottom. These need to obviously be brassed, and the pipes, like I said, some pipe work in places. Again, on the front, the lenses and some more pipe work. And this top bit needs to be actually painted black, not left in this sort of sprayed black to give it a different sort of consistency. So that's got a fair bit to go. And then we've got these, which again, nowhere near complete. They will just go on top of there, like so. And they will be, I think I'm going to do the outline gold and those bronze. So that just gives you some kind of idea. And then finally, the sort of like little parts of the Warlord Titan is this little box here that I've been working on. This piece is totally complete. These void shields, I've gone for this layout. I've used a clear blue for the outer sort of projectors, and then the inner I've used a brass, and then I think I will use for those inlets a brass too, just to offset it rather than just keep them as they are. They look alright, but they just need to be a different colour. I did experiment, as you can see there, look, there's purple. I did experiment with having these different colours, look, that's a yellow, but in the end I've just opted for them to be blue, which works quite well. This, you might be able to tell, but I haven't painted it black. It's just still sprayed black, so I have to go over that with a thin coat of the armour section. But the gold and the rivets really chuff with, and the highlighting inside, not too shabby detail as well. This back catch is complete, believe it or not. I might dry brush that a bit of Necron because it still looks a bit mucky, but there's a big magnet in there, and once it's all glued, it just slots on the front of that really well. I can just manipulate it and move it into different positions as I see fit. The las cannons, things like that, I'm waiting for different bronzes to come to finish those. The lenses I'm quite chuffed with for the front face, and obviously remember I've got the other pattern of head somewhere. This isn't finished, this side, but I do in here have a side that is, here it is. This is finished, and I've even put the nickel oxide around the edges of some of the pipes, so that's finished. That's what you're gonna, that's sort of like the detail that you're gonna be expecting from the other side. So there you go. And these guys, I've sort of made a bit of a start on these, not too much, just put some basic colours on. Don't know why I've given him red boots, I might change that. So there you go, that's all the sort of little parts. With the big shields, I'm not going to freehand. I've got some actual transfers from big Titan transfer sheet that I'm going to be putting on there, so that's great. And that's all the little parts too. So this video is probably like 20 minutes long or whatever. But I just thought I'd give you an update. It's my June update. And the next time you see this model, it will be complete and it will be in a different video. So this is what it is, sort of halfway, I'd say, a bit more than halfway. So if you've liked this video, thumbs up the like button, and if you haven't already, if you subscribe to the channel, you'll be the first to know when I put the video up once it's complete. But like I said before, because Games Workshop and Forge World have released so many models over the past year or so, and I've really wanted to bring those to you first and foremost, that has directly impacted my time that I could spend on this. If I only had this model to build and paint, then I would have finished it. But I've got a few weeks off work over the next couple of months, so hopefully I can make a huge dint on this and get it finished, ready for a couple of videos in October, November time, which I hope you'll be part of. Thanks ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. The Emperor Protects.